So if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I have a specific format that I typically use when I'm evaluating is analyzing or looking at the mechanics of particular TTRPGs. And that's the primary thing I do on this channel is study mechanics, because I want to make my own games, and so I want to know how mechanics sort of are used and how they fit into different games. Now, if you have been following along and you've seen some of my other videos on this, you'll know that I have a template that I use. And so here's the template. And it's the RPG scaffolding. And it has this sort of what's the resolution, what's the character design. It's very technical, right? And I'll admit, I really love this still for breaking down information, but I will admit that I went back and watched one of my most recent videos. I think I watched the Draw Steel video, and I was just like, I don't know if I can watch this. Now, I've gotten great feedback from people that really enjoy those, but there was something about it that it wasn't connecting the mechanics. You know, it was very much a point blank bullet of this is a mechanic, this is a mechanic, this is a mechanic. These all exist, right? And so I wasn't sure how I felt about that. That got me thinking about a new design. What if instead of that, this, and it would be expanded out a little bit more, but this is sort of the framework, right? The idea being that we're going to analyze mechanics, but we're going to analyze part of their intention, right? How does this mechanic make you feel more competent as a player? How does this mechanic increase the drama of the game? And how does this mechanic increase or sustain the immersion of the game? And I don't know if it's going to fit perfectly. And then the idea being that obviously I think every resolution system would fit in here, right? Every possible resolution system is part of making you feel competent, but it also might fit into drama. I personally use the pressure system, and the pressure system is supposed to be more dramatic technically than competence, right? I have a different meta currency to help you feel more competent. So the idea being, I think that I want to start using something like this to help me analyze mechanics so that I'm still anchoring those mechanics behind intention, right? It's not just, here's a mechanic, look at this. It's more, here's a mechanic, here's the intention behind this mechanic. And I think it fits under one of these categories. And depending on who you are as a player, you might value these categories a little differently. So that's what I'm kind of interested in. If you have an opinion on these different categories, right? Others, I would love to hear what other sort of categories you might have. You know what? Let's go ahead and do something real quick. If you'd like to stop the video right now, you can. You can head on out. But I'm going to do something else real quick, and that is going to be, I am going to now go to ChatGPT. I'm going to change one thing real quick. Let's go to ChatGPT and say, analyzing a board game's mechanics, I want to place them into different categories. The current categories I consider are competence, drama, immersion. Competence, how does this mechanic make the player feel intelligent and skilled? Drama, how does this mechanic add to the drama, pacing, unknown of the game? Immersion, how does this game make you feel like you're a part of this genre or world/lore? What are 10 different categories that could be used for analyzing game mechanics? Let's do 5. 10 seems like a bit much. Feel free to add or remove any of the 3 I've mentioned already. Let's see what it says. I'd be very curious. Challenge. I don't know if I like where this is going. Engagement. One second. I'm waiting for it to finish typing and then I can pull it up. So what do they have? They have challenge, engagement, pacing, thematic coherence, and replayability. I don't know if I like these. Challenge, how does the mechanic test the player's skills? Engagement, how does the mechanic keep the player actively involved and invested? Oh, I see what it's trying to do. Pacing, oh, that's interesting, right? This is looking at it from a game design, right? So what they're doing is this. Let me pull this over here. ChatGPT has said, I think ChatGPT was thinking, I want you to have a good game. So how does that game accomplish the following with mechanics? How does the game make it feel like the players are challenged? How does the game keep the players engaged? How does the game make sure the pacing is fun? How does the game make sure there's thematic coherence? How does the game have replayability? This is very board gamey, right? This is very board gamey categories, which I think is kind of nice, right? So let's ask a different prompt. Let's say, this might be boring to you. I'm not sure if you're into this or not, but you know what? You're here and I'm here and we're all here and we're loving it. So for this next one, let's say, dear ChatGPT, instead of categories that are focused on the game design, how would construct categories focused more on the player's experience, how they feel based on the mechanics. See what comes up. Empowerment. Oh, now we're talking. So empowerment, tension, immersion. Immersion was one of mine. I had that one already. Satisfaction, connection. Interesting. Let's see how it interprets these. And I'll bring it over to the other page. All right, let's go back over to the other one. So it has empowerment. How does the mechanic make the player feel skilled, powerful, in control? So that's kind of like what I had in terms of competence, but empowerment might be a better word. Tension, that's my drama. How does the mechanic build suspense, anxiety, excitement? So I kind of like drama more than tension, but maybe it's because I watched too much Matt Colville. Immersion, I already had immersion. How does the mechanic make the player feel like they're part of the story? Satisfaction is interesting. How does the mechanic provide a sense of reward, achievement, or progress? And then connection, how does this mechanic help the player feel connected to others? This is the important part, I think. Because I think that immersion might be connected to the world, in my opinion, but I like the idea of connected to others, right? And the narrative, I think that, once again, that's to me the immersion one. So I might focus this on more like teamwork, like connection to others. If you have other categories that you would like to add, if you have any other opinions on what might be a better template for when I analyze different board games, board games and or TTRPGs, focused mostly on TTRPGs. That's what we do here. I would love to hear your opinion. Otherwise, hit a bell, subscribe, leave a comment. Feel free to watch any of these other videos. I've got one on Cipher System that I recently did, one on MCDM Draw Steel. These were videos that I used my current template, and I'd be curious your thoughts on those.